Hey guys, what is up? My name is Film Buff, and I'm here to talk to you about Venom, the movie. Now, this is my first time doing this, and I thought a creative way to do a review for a movie instead of, just talking to y'all about it and, showing clips and stuff, maybe I could color some art that I drew of said film. Now, this is my first time doing this, and I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I hope it doesn't turn out to be a huge clusterfuck. And I hope that I can add some valuable input towards the movie Venom. All right, so let's get started. Um, I'm thinking maybe for the character for now, I'm gonna do like some navy blue and some little bit of yellow with the teeth. And make sure I have my brush selected. Alrighty, let's get started on talking about the movie. So, with the movie, I gotta say, my first general impressions are that I am none too impressed on it. Honestly, I thought it was very, very sloppy. And not just in terms of like, a blockbuster, but like in terms of like a film in general. There was something greatly missing, and I think that was a structure. This film seems to be lacking in that department. It feels like it went through way too many screenwriters and too many ideas, and it just failed at balancing. And funnily enough, it just feels like it was made 10 years too late. You know what I mean? Like, there is just this huge gap in understanding of the audience. And somehow the movie works. Now, I don't mean that necessarily in the way of I enjoyed it, but I mean that more in terms of like, well, it obviously grossed a lot of money, and well, let's be honest, the big majority of Venom fans are kids, and the reason, like, when I was a kid, I liked Venom. I fucking loved Venom. He was like one of my favorite villains, especially in Spider-Man 3. And why is that? Because he looks cool. Like, you'd have to be an idiot not to acknowledge his influence. So, that said, we know where a lot of that comes from. And one of the reasons that a lot of kids got to see this movie is that it was rated PG-13 over what they had promised over a year ago, I believe, that it would be R, which is a huge problem because I can tell you right now, and I have a feeling some of you might feel the same way, is that I'm not alone in this. If it were rated R, it probably would have been a lot better. A lot of us might have enjoyed it more. And because of that, it kind of suffers a bit. Now, that's some of my negative, like, general first impressions about the movie. But specifically, I'd like to get into the editing and why that feels very stagnated and kind of sloppy to me. So, firstly, there is one scene in particular where you can tell it was a reshoot, and there are plenty of examples in this movie, but for time's sake, I guess I'll just pick this one where Venom or Eddie, Tom Hardy, he jumps through a window in his apartment after he's been attacked by like these Life Foundation guys, and they're shooting at him, but like he jumps into like some other dude's apartment, and they're having game night. And sadly, no, it's nothing like the movie. That would have been perfect. Just interrupt that movie and go, "Hey, game night? Yeah, sure, game night." That would have been pretty cool. But anyways, I digress. Um, so yeah, they start like raining down like loads of bullets, right? Tons of bullets. And sorry if you guys can hear my dog barking in the background. She does that all the time. they start shooting, and then they disappear in the next scene. Like he puts up this wall of the venom goo. I don't know what to call it specifically. Like I guess the symbiote is an extension of itself. That's another thing. Symbiote or symbiote, call it what you will. Just make sure the internet does not hear you say either way. Um, so yeah, that was a little bit distracting because like the whole movie, I noticed things like that. Like they were just little editing things that like could have been solved in post, and it's like, well, if that whole scene was meant to be a reshoot, why didn't you just do it like this? You know? And there's a lot of questions, but there's also a lot of dumb shit going on in the movie as well. Like, for instance, and spoilers for this whole thing, by the way. That scene with the post credits, Carnage, and what the fuck were they thinking, man? That was one of the ugliest fucking hair pieces I've ever seen, and it just looked really fucking abysmal. I feel bad for Woody Harrelson. I mean, I guess if I saw his paycheck from this, I probably wouldn't feel as bad that he had to wear that stupid thing. But that just looked bad. So visually, it's not the most appealing scene in the whole movie. But you add on top of it everything else, the dialogue and the bad writing. It's it's really cringy, and I went and saw this with some friends, and they all walked away with a positive outlook. But this scene really cemented how much I fucking hate this movie and why it's like one of the worst things I've seen all year. And I haven't seen a lot of bad movies all year, so yeah, I guess that's saying a lot for it, anyways. But yeah, he goes up to him and he goes, "Hey, when I get out of here, there's gonna be carnage." It's like the most ham-fisted thing, and it's just it's atrocious. It genuinely is. But like, I want to know what you guys think about that. Like, did that upset you at all, or did you guys think it was kind of funny? You know, like maybe it was just like a little callback. I don't blame you if you did, but honestly, I think that the fact that this was written by the same chick that did the fucking 50 Shades movies, it says a lot. I have a feeling maybe she had her hand in writing that scene on its own. Now, I want to get into some of the positives. Yeah, I've been shitting on this for like, oh, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. So let's talk about the acting, or the actors, since I want to stick to positive. We'll just talk about Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams, I think her name is, or Michelle something. I don't want to butcher her name. Now, I think I've seen her in a few things, and I think she's pretty good. I can't remember specifically, but even from this movie, I did not mind seeing her at all. I thought she, acting wise, she brought some. I don't want to say levity or gravitas because like I really didn't find much of that in this movie, but she brought acting, general basic acting that was required. And as someone who's tried acting myself, I know that's like really hard. So I will give her that. Um, Sadly, I cannot do that for Tom Hardy. No, but like Tom Hardy as an actor, generally, I like him. He's made plenty of good movies. He did this one great movie called Locke that was made by A24, and it is very, very good. And so, hold on, if you ever want to see it, I highly encourage it. Last time I checked, it was on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, I suggest you go and watch that. It's definitely better than Venom. But anyways, now to get into Tom Hardy's performance in this movie. Uh, it's not very good. Like, I know I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, but he's having a good time. He's having fun. You can't hate on him for that." That's bullshit. And I don't care if anyone says, "Oh, he did it for his son because his son wants to see his dad in a superhero movie." Dude could have very fucking easily gone to like the MCU if he wanted his son to, like, have a positive outlook on him as an actor, or if he wanted to make a good movie. I don't know, maybe they just weren't hiring him for whatever reason, but I mean, he could have also easily gone to DC. What the fuck? What? This piece of shit. Right. Uh, okay. All right. So yeah, I don't want to hear any excuses like that for him, because they honestly shouldn't count. He knew what he was getting into. He knew that he was probably either going to make a lot of money from this or maybe not as much. But I can guarantee you that he was definitely expecting more than what he usually gets paid. And that's evident because this is one of the first and only blockbusters. Well, not only, it's one of the first blockbusters he's ever done. And I think the closest he's ever been to was like Inception. And Inception's pretty good. It's not a bad movie, not by a long shot. But it's not like I consider it groundbreaking or anything. It's definitely fun, but and confusing sometimes, but it's nowhere near blockbuster status. But that's the closest he's ever been. And of course, he's got this now under his belt. So, all that said, I feel that this is a very, very misguided movie, and it's very flawed. It doesn't have anything really going for it. Um, a lot of the effects are pretty god awful. I definitely don't recommend sitting through that. They're not as bad as the rhinos from Black Panther, but it's still something to behold. I watched this on 4K recently, and Venom just looks like a giant turd monster. Like it looks, or I think it would have made more sense. Like I would have had an easier time believing that Venom was just a turd monster that came from Eddie's toilet after he took a mean shit, and it was just like, "Hey, I'll help you with your problems" or whatever. That would have been way more believable than the stupid alien garbage. But speaking of stupid alien garbage, let's talk about that villain. So I wasn't expecting anything great going into this villain wise. Definitely not. I mean, it would have been great if they had, but I wasn't. I don't know if I could have even gone in going, oh yeah, Riz Ahmed, he's gonna kill it, because he's another independent actor who I've heard great things about, and I've only ever seen him in Rogue One. But I'm gonna say, with the material he had, I believed him. I believe that he wanted to do something beneficial for mankind to some extent. However, there's just something off. And I think that really boils down to his motivation and the weird way that he justifies what he's doing. So, this is a villain that uses biblical verses. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Like, that's major cheese right there. So, if that's something that, like, doesn't float your boat, well, you know what you're in for. Uh, So yeah, he's got that going for him, and honestly, it just kind of feels weak, and he doesn't really do much. Like that's the other thing is that like he's supposed to be imposing, and you don't really feel that he's imposing until he gets the other symbiote, because there was more than one that came down on the ship, I believe. There were like five or six, and he got one of them. Its name was Riot, and it's very evident that like without Riot, this movie would definitely like have sucked hardcore, because like the way that it's set up is really lackluster. It's a very slow movie to begin with. There's not really much keeping you in. Like if this movie had released on Netflix, I have the general feeling people would have just skipped over the beginning until they saw Venom pop up, or they would have just simply gotten bored and turned it off. Because unless you're in a theater watching this turd, there's really no fucking reason to stay invested the way that the director or the producers or studio would want you to stay invested. There's just nothing interesting, nothing keeping it. I mean, I guess maybe like when I was a kid and there was something that I really wanted to watch. Like I'm trying to think of an example. Maybe like an R-rated movie. What? There was a really shitty Adam Sandler movie. That's My Boy that I wanted to watch as a kid. Or no, wait, no. It was Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star. And the only reason I wanted to watch it is because I knew that I could not. That movie was abysmal, but as a child, I tricked myself into thinking that I thought it was funny just because it was exclusive. It was rated R or something that I couldn't see on my own, that I had to sneak behind my parents' backs. And it really shows here that this is the kind of level of filmmaking that we're dealing with. This this is what Hell's Gates have unleashed upon humanity, and it's so bad, so bad. Granted, it's not as bad as like Catwoman. Like that was one thing that I thought was a little bit misleading. Like a lot of critics were going, "Oh, it's just as shitty as Catwoman," or "It's as bad as this other superhero movie." And while I do agree the movie is bad, it's not that level of bad. I mean, let's be honest. Catwoman, that movie was not even competent, or you couldn't even see what was happening half the time. And also, it just got Catwoman wrong. I feel like this movie, Spider-Man aside, does know what Venom is. It definitely gets a lot of aspects of the character right, especially visually. I feel like design wise, at least, he does look like the character from the comics. There's nothing wrong with that, minus the spider, of course. So it's not as bad as some people are making it out to be, but it's still bad. But I feel like if they had just said it's mediocre, maybe less people would have gone and saw it, because I know the main reason I went and saw it was because I had heard it's a bad movie. Which again, yes, but not that bad. So I feel like maybe this movie wouldn't have made as much as it had if it just been reported as like mediocre, and it wouldn't have been one of the highest grossing movies of the year, and that genuinely bothers me a lot, actually. This fucking thing was somehow able to make it that far when it really should not have at all. Anyways, let's get it outer zoom. Have a look at it. Okay. I think this piece is coming together pretty well. Uh, Definitely preferring the blue. I know Venom's not blue in the comics, unless you read it in the 90s, then they kind of did make him blue, but I think it looks good on him, so I think we're going to keep it for now, maybe add in some darker blacks later. Um, but yeah, these are just my general thoughts about the movie. I did not write anything down before talking to you guys. This is simply a test run. I'm doing this very off the cuff, so I mean, hey, if you have any constructive criticism, you can leave it down in the comments. That would be greatly appreciated. Because my goal is to definitely make this a thing starting 2019. I want to start making more reviews. And I think this is a very interesting concept, although having talked through this already, I can see that maybe I might have to color it and then talk as I go over it, because this is going to take way longer than it would to just simply talk about. So, what I think I'm going to do for now is just stop working on this and just talk a little bit more about the channel. And then the next review, maybe we can try something different. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about in the next one. Maybe another movie from 2018, or maybe something new. Who knows? But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will have the finished project in the thumbnail.